Okay. Would you join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome to the meeting today. This is our April regular meeting of the Edgar County Board. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Certainly. Ellis.
Here.
Farnham.
Here.
Lawton.
Here.
Ludington.
Here.
Patrick.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
And Voigt.
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum. I'd like to thank everybody for being here in the audience. All 4 or 5 of, do I count you, Gary, as audience or? Nope. Okay, all right, well, glad to have you here anyway. Minutes from the March 9th meeting, public hearing and the March 9th regular meeting of 2022. You've had those in your hands. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I take or accept a motion to accept those minutes of both the public hearing and the regular meeting. Phil moves. Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And of those opposed, does carry. Claims against the county. Folks have had that for a few days. Are there any questions or clarifications needed? Hearing none, accept a motion to approve those claims against the county. Russ and Phil. Russ second, or makes the motion and Phil seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Carries. County Board members' claims. You've had those. Are there any additions or corrections or? Hearing none, a motion to accept those claims or approve those claims. Dan moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Now we come to the portion of the meeting for public comment. We ask that you identify yourself, just your name, and include your comments in the 5-minute rule. So, and Amanda, I'll get you on the agenda first thing, so if you need to scoot. But are there any public comments at this point? Okay, we'll move along. Highway, I don't think we have anything. You just put it on there just in case. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and modify the meeting agenda administratively and ask Amanda to step forward. And Amanda is the Douglas County Health Department Director. So, Amanda, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, and I am here announcing some really good news. Really good news. I met just previously this morning with Hopes and Dreams, Stacy Skelton and Beth Hansel. They are excited and they want to do the sponsorship. They're able to, they're just gonna start the paperwork and start getting stuff straightened and getting ready. I will tell you, things probably will change. I know we had mentioned previously that it was gonna be at Memorial School, but we could only have Memorial for June. So in our discussions this morning, it was decided that Hopes and Dreams, their location would be a good location, and they could have that all summer long. I did speak previously about it starting June 6th. Again, the compassion that these two ladies have, they are really wanting to start it sooner so that these kids don't have to go, weeks without food. So as long as the program, you cannot have the summer meal program at the same time that the school lunch program is going on. So they have not determined yet a start date, but as long as it's after the school lunch program, then they'll be able to do that, and then probably, knowing them, they'll do it right up until school starts instead of the end of July, like we had previously spoke about. One of the things I did tell them, there is some funding through grants for possible additional funding for transportation. However, to get kids, I thought Mr. Ball would have some data for me today, but he was not able to get that data for me. But he is more than willing to, help out and do the transportation. So I did instruct Stacy and Beth to possibly talk to the county board if that's an additional need for the transportation of the kids to get there.
Where's the funding coming to on the front end and the back end for the food?
So for the food, they will have to upfront some of it, and I'm assuming they're gonna be working with On the Tracks Cafe as well, and just in previous years with On the Tracks Cafe, they upfront the upfront costs, and then they will get paid per meal, and they can get reimbursements weekly if they want.
Okay.
So it'll be weekly reimbursements or monthly, whenever they get the paperwork turned in, and that's through ISBE, Illinois State Board of Education. So they would be able to get that funding.
So there's a grant for like from June 6th to whenever, but if they expand it, is there any funding for that?
Okay, so the meals,
Right.
that's the reimbursement, that is, as long as it's not during the school lunch program,
They
that's
can
fine.
get-
The additional funding for the grant for the transportation is what we normally use our additional funding for. That's just blanket. That, I don't quote me on it, but I think it was like 5,000, I
Okay.
think.
So when you say transport, is that just the transport from there to Hopes and Dreams, or is that to the homes?
No, this is not, it cannot be delivery anymore, I know, unfortunately, it cannot be delivery, so these kids will have to be coming in. I will tell you, previously, before COVID, we did do programmatic, so we would do a breakfast, they would get dropped off, do a breakfast, do a program, and then do a lunch, and then send them home. You don't have to, but it's kind of something to get the kids out of the house, get them in more instructional kind of, safe atmosphere. Talking with Stacy and Beth, I think that's one of the things they would like to do, and have that where they are coming in for a breakfast, staying for a program, and doing a lunch.
And I know there's country people and there's people in Vermillion, so they gotta come here.
Yes, but that's one of the things that, hopefully with that transportation, and that's what, I spoke with, because again, I'm out in that location, I
Right.
see it. And, they would reach out and partner with Paul, and really, most of the time, those bus drivers, they know what areas to go to.
Right.
They know which house, they know where to go pick up these kids that are in need.
How do we know how many meals are fixed?
So what we do, and have in the past is set up at the very beginning, of the program, a sign up. So what I told them, I would give them all the paperwork, it's a Google Doc sign up, and, there's a QR code, there's all kinds of stuff, you can sign up. Yes, it's a guesstimate, because with that sign up, you're gonna have that number of kids, and then if people walk in, you will feed them as well. So you have to kind of have that, range of meals where you're only gonna get paid for the kids that are there, but you kind of have to have a little bit extra just in case if somebody else shows up.
So you were talking, and I think it sounds wonderful, you were talking about breakfast, programming, and lunch. How's the programming going to work?
And that's talking with them. We had done it in previous years, at previous years, Brenda Wright and,
So it won't be District 95 or?
no,
anything like that, it'll just be.
Peter, Donna Peter. That's what I was like going, wait, I can't remember. Brenda Wright and Donna Peter are really good about getting programs in the extension office, the hospital, the health department, different, growing your own vegetables. Just cooking your own cookies, things like that. Just you reaching out to the community and saying, hey, you have a captive audience here, come teach them whatever you want to teach them. And so, yeah, Donna was amazing the years that she did that, and getting that programmatic stuff in there. Now, obviously, there's probably gonna be a lot of days that you don't have that. So fortunately, there are options, across the street, like, playing at, like, they could go down to the like, some of those, like, parks, some of those things, that play hopscotch in the, parking lot, something to keep them entertained for that. They again, next Wednesday, the program that I spoke about previously to help the kids get paid for free, like, it's a program that we have in Champaign. I reached out to CFS, and Tabitha in that program at CFS is coming to speak to the kids at the high school next Wednesday, and to get kids signed up. $14 an hour, these kids can work and get paid, and they can help at Summer Food, they can help at Hope and Dreams, they can help, all these different places.
Is there an age limit on the?
I'm sorry,
Is
what?
there an age limit on the kids that can be in the program?
Yes, but I cannot speak to that, because I
That's
do
fine.
not know that program, but I do know that, I wanna say that they can't be graduated yet, because I think that's they have to have incentives, they have to have like a goal, and that goal to graduate high school is one of those goals. So yeah, I truly believe, I think it is all coming together. I am so grateful of Hopes and Dreams. They are gonna do amazing. I mean, I think this first year it's gonna be a little hiccupy, but I think, yeah, it is a great marriage right here.
As far as I'm concerned, we need to keep close contact with Hope and Dreams and see if they need some assistance, we can help them out. And I think we'll be more than willing to help them out.
Thank you.
I see Beth about every Thursday night at Main Street, so
Yeah.
I can talk to her.
We need to, I'd rather step forward.
And seriously, and we'll help with as much as we can to help transition them and get the paperwork and everything started. But if there is anything, yeah, it's a great program, and I can't tell you how much you guys, this is so great that you are involved, and this is, a good program that you see the successes with.
Any further questions? Thank you, Amanda.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your commitment, and your county board is okay with you helping us like this, I
Yes,
assume?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, to do this transition, absolutely. I think this will be great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
And can I shoot out of here?
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
please. Oh,
Thank you guys.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's good news. Number 9 is resolution to set salaries for county clerk and recorder, sheriff, and treasurer with term limits beginning 12/1 of '22, and county board members of District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with terms ending 12/22. Augie, I have a question about that, the way I just read it out loud. Could that be construed that none of this, some of the board members' terms are different? So is that covered in here okay, in the actual thing? So, because the way the resolution reads is that it just covers the board, all 7 districts until, let's see.
No, it just-
Okay, yeah,
Terms beginning,
all right,
which
all
they
right,
all began, but,
okay.
and then.
I just wanna make sure I'm reading it right. Okay, I beat that dead horse, so what, comments, or we've talked about it at the last meeting some, have you thought any more about it? Is everybody still comfortable with it? Well, in that case, I'd accept a resolution, or a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make the motion to approve the resolution.
Lisa moves, and Andy seconds. Further discussion? Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Ellis,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruner.
Yes.
And I want to tell Augie and Lisa very much thanks for kind of getting this all together and appreciate it. Okay, file administrative order number 2022-10, reappointing T. Bradley Tucker, jury commissioner with term expiring April 15th, 2025. My gosh. We do this how often? Every so many years? The judges sent this down, so is there a motion to approve this resolution? Carl moves, Dan seconds. Would you call the roll?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruner.
Yes.
Okay, resolution, and that carries. Number 11, resolution approving oath and bond, acceptance of office, and reappointment of Dennis English, trustee, Metcalf Fire Protection District. Motion to approve. Phil, I'm sorry, Russ, and then a second. Okay, Carl seconds. Would you please call the roll?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruner.
Yes.
Okay. Number 12, resolution appointing Don Wiseman, Edgar County Collector, as treasurer for Drainage District Number 2 of the town of Young America, County of Edgar, State of Illinois. We have a motion. Andy moves, Russ seconds. Mr. Clerk,
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruner.
Yes.
does carry. Resolution of acceptance of office, oath, and bond of Linda K. Ash, trustee, Human Fire Protection District. Carl moves, Dan seconds. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruner.
Yes.
Does carry. Resolution to reappoint Linda K. Ash, trustee, Human Fire Protection District. Carl moves. Dan, oh, I thought you were raising your arm, Dan.
Phil.
Phil, seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Okay, so it was Carl and Phil.
Yep.
Okay.
No. Yes.
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 All right. Ellis.
Yes.
Yes.
Farnum. Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Is there some problem
And
there?
Bruner.
You gotta wait till.
It does carry. Okay, next, office department heads. Tom, you got anything to tell us out at the airport?
After several months of waiting, our main hangar doors will begin next Tuesday.
Cool.
Those are the original 1974 doors, so they serve very well.
Remember 10 years ago, we was trying to get those fixed?
Mm-hmm. Been a long time coming. Anything else, Tom? Are there any questions of Tom? Okay. Angie, do you have anything that you would share with the board?
I don't have anything today. Do you have any questions of me?
Okay. Augie?
Yeah, Ross implemented the .gov email address and sent you a test email yesterday.
It came through.
Okay, good.
I sent back, yeah.
There's gonna be a learning curve with the system, and we're gonna run both email programs in tandem for the next year at least. So there's no way to move over certain folders and contacts like I had hoped. But it is what it is, and we'll adapt and we'll learn, and it's the law, so that's what we'll do.
So as we have emails come in or we respond, we need to ask them to please change our email addresses.
Yes, yes and no, but there's gonna be an automatic reply that goes out.
That's right, okay.
that will say this email address has changed, would you please update your address book?
So as far as archiving, we'll still maintain the archive of the old system indefinitely, correct?
That's my understanding, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
we can talk about that at the meeting at the end of the
Yeah,
month.
he said he'd keep it on, and he said he could turn it off in a year, and then if we need to, somebody needs to go back in and retrieve something, he could turn it back on. I'm not sure how that works, but, I'm sure it will work, so.
Okay,
Other than that, any questions for me?
thank you, Augie. Board reports, we'll start out of order. Phil, do you have anything?
Nope.
Russ, do you have anything?
Nope.
Carl, do you have anything? Andy?
And checked with the sheriff yet this morning to see if anything's going on, but no,
Not yet, so we don't know whether the,
got stuff in or whether anything has happened, so.
okay. Dan?
Well, maybe I shouldn't have done it, but I called Janet yesterday and asked her to submit a name to the board to be approved to replace Cindy Belt on the Everett County Health Department Board, because we're having a lot of trouble getting a quorum, and it's been over a year. She should have been replaced, so
You did fine, I'm glad you called her.
Submit a name to the board.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're supposed to have a
Glad you
meeting date, but nobody could show up, so
Well, it wouldn't have mattered today
that's why I
anyway,
told her.
because we can't get it on the agenda.
I just told her to submit a name to us.
That's fine.
Okay.
You have every other month, you have meetings?
Every other month, yeah, on Wednesday. So it'll be next month before we have another meeting. So we're supposed to have a meeting today to do this, and nobody could show up, so. Yeah. So I said, just go ahead and submit a name.
On that same line, I would talk to Tim up in the state's attorney's office, and the magic number is 8 on the health department board.
Oh,
But, and we have 7 people in a vacancy at this point officially. But we can take it to 9 without resolution. But I have him checking on that so that we do it correctly,
The
okay?
problem is we have a lot of doctors, and they can't be there at a certain time, and that presents a problem. Plus, we have one that passed away last year that hadn't been replaced. We have one now that's very sick that can't come to the meeting, so consequently, we never have enough for a quorum to do anything.
Well, and I'm trying to be delicate about that, but there's a provision in there, if you're not showing up, and I mean, I understand, and John's given us a lot of service over the years in many different capacities, and we need to make sure that we're sensitive to that. But I ask how, to make sure that however we proceed is in the law, and we don't get into trouble, okay?
Right.
So,
I didn't know if I should have done that or not, but.
you did fine. No,
You need to do
no,
something.
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
So we only have flexibility of 1.
Yeah,
As
what,
far as you
eight
know.
is the normal, but you can't have 9, especially if you're having issues with people showing up. Okay? I just wanna make sure before we do something like that we have clearance to do it, okay?
Good.
I don't want this to become an issue, more than it's already an issue, okay? So, Dan, thank you for doing that.
Okay.
We all appreciate it, okay? Lisa,
Just what I reported on at the study session, that the East Central Illinois Development, I don't know what the last C stands for, Corporation Committee, has started convening again in person. And so we were just doing a root issues and concerns meeting a couple weeks ago. And we all share the same frustrations, issues, concerns, opportunities. So the positive is, what would our end goal be? Improved quality of life, everything from schools to housing to employment, and also in there, the tourism side, which goes very much a quality of life. So there are a lot of things for us to focus on, not that we can change some of those, but gives us an idea of where to start, because that's how you get federal funding, is through this regional group.
Okay. Let's see, I don't have a lot today. Don was not able to be here, but we do have, if you get the single sheet, we do have all of our, and you've got your budget, and it shows that everything has come in that's supposed to be in fact, we even got a probation check, so we're doing very well. Personal property tax was unusually high, almost 90 grand. So that was an unexpected surprise. If you look to the end, the last page of the budget, you'll see that we're $542,000 in the hole for the budget. Please be aware that that doesn't include 3 months of payments, since we're on the accrual basis of all of the state funding that comes into us. It also does not include any property tax, which would, you know, you'd normally think like the state pays out every month, but we won't start receiving that until August, towards the last third of the year. So it looks different than what it really is. So, and then if you go with the single sheet, you'll note that we're in fairly decent shape. In fact, if you go back a year, there's a $1.2 million change, and almost $2 million change, over $2 million from 2 years ago. So, at any rate, do we need to have a closed session again today on personnel? Or do you want to kind of hold that over and think about that to the next study session? I mean, there's no great urgency. I went ahead and dove a little deeper with Ross, and we're going to go ahead and get that guy on part-time, because he does have certain qualifications, although obviously he's not trained for us. So we're going to go ahead and move on that, because we do need some efficiencies in the IT department. Do you have any questions of me?
The hazardous plan, did
Good.
that get that completed?
We have our last meeting, I think May 12th,
Okay.
something like that, 10th, something in that order. And then they will spend the next couple of months writing it up. We'll have had 4 meetings. The first 2 or 3 were really well attended. I'm sorry, the first 2 were well attended. The next one was sort of mediocre, but then we came back up and had good. The municipalities and the fire departments are all very, very good about attending those and realizing that it matters for them in the next 5 years. Anyway, the final meeting will be in May. They'll write it up. It'll probably be late fall before it's approved, and then we'll go from there.
I know the last couple of years on the, you mentioned property taxes, you know, we kind of moved that back a little bit. Has there been any,
I haven't heard anybody say anything.
whether we need to consider that again? And when does that normally come, the taxes, like July, June, July?
I mean, when they get paid.
No, well, when do you send them out
Oh,
as a rule?
Yeah, as a rule, it's sort of in June. I know it's gonna be delayed again this year,
Okay.
assessing the various
August and
parcels.
September will be the payment months, probably.
Yeah.
And that's normal?
That's fair, yeah, that's
Kind
normal
of
for,
the new
the
normal
last 2
now, isn't
years.
it? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we moved it back like a month or so.
yeah.
Okay. So we've got some time to, you know, in case something comes up that we need to look into that.
Right.
You got time to save your money. Sorry.
Now, Now that was out of line. No,
Sorry about
I'm
that.
kidding, I'm kidding.
I
man.
know.
Anyway,
I know.
anyway, from my standpoint, thoughts and prayers, much appreciated from all of you. Thank you. Anything else to come before the meeting?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes?
if I could
Please.
back up just a couple of steps. I wanted to clarify, I didn't do a very good job. My office has been the guinea pig for this .gov email program. And so we're gonna work out the bugs and the kinks, and it's gonna work, and it's gonna be fine. It's like anything else, it's new, and there's a lot of differences in it. So the transition is gonna take some time, but we'll make it. But I just want everybody to know that it's not like Ross flipped a button and every department in the county is using that. So we're gonna go down the road first and get it ironed out, and then he's going to then go to the different offices and implement that program. So I wanted to say that. And then number two, more importantly, I wanted to let you know how much I very much appreciate the consideration for the salary schedule. So thank you again very much.
Anything else?
I've got a question for Lisa. As the department head, have you started those meetings back up?
No, but we have been in communication with Bruce and trying to set it up for the end of the month,
Okay.
and he would be guiding that.
Okay, all right.
So we definitely recognize the need.
Yes.
And then from there, we hope to have you're hoping to have a periodic meeting. One of the things thank you for reminding me, Carl, you or Lisa, Carl, when do we owe, remember last year we passed a resolution to help, not 708, HRC.
with the-
HRC.
And we did send them a check for $20,000 left. But there was an installment that was due this year. And I wanted to see if you couldn't foster or shepherd that through to one of you to
That
make sure
summer,
that
fall,
when we
did
need to
that.
pay that and what,
yeah.
I'm sure Augie has a copy of the resolution. And we just wanna be on time, and
Right,
I don't wanna have them, make,
right.
not beg
I
for
was
it,
thinking,
but
when we originally talked about it, we was gonna do it starting like January, but then he was at one meeting, said, well, if we could move it up a little bit, and I was thinking it was fall, but Augie, you can check on that to see when we actually did that, and we can,
I think it's
Have
like
discussion.
8,800 or something is the second payment that they're expecting.
yeah.
I just happened to think about it at dark 30 this morning and thought we better make sure that we attended to it.
Right.
Yes, Dan?
I'm not impressed with the evaluation form that was used for Andrea. Lisa, where'd you get that at?
I've got that Jeff got that from Dean, and so I need to find out from Dina if she can provide me with the electronic version.
Is that used in all departments? Be nice
Well,
to
that's what we're,
But that would be a good tool for them
Right.
to have.
Put in the file
So
also.
our
Yeah.
plan is that at this next this next HR conversation meeting, that be shared.
We're impressed with
Yeah.
it, thought it was good,
yeah,
good.
yeah. Well, you and I sat down and Lisa and I sat down and we did those. It probably needs to be retyped anyway to put Edgar County on the top of it anyway. But I mean, I'm sure Dina can go in the computer. She just handed me a file with, I think, 3 different examples, and I chose that because I thought it was the best. So, okay, thanks, Dan. Motion to adjourn. Andy moves, Russ seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thanks.